what's going on, guys? Today I thought I was going to have a video on the Lamborghini Countach, but I'm actually waiting on a fuel pump for it to run, and the next video obviously is getting this thing running. So it'll be back soon. I'm just waiting on some parts. Fun fact, after I posted that video, the original builder of the car, the first owner of that thing that actually tore the Fiero down and put the body kit on and everything, he randomly found the video and sent me a DM, a message. So the dude verified for me some of what the seller that I bought it from was saying, but the Fiero that the original builder, James, bought for the project, it was a very budget friendly, you know, it was his first build, and so he was trying to do it as cheap as possible and whatnot, which I personally don't blame the guy for at all. He actually did a good job on this thing. But then he had to sell it to move on to new projects. He needed the money at the time. And so it just sold and sold and sold all the way down to me. And the guy was, I feel really bad. He was heartbroken when he saw its condition when it got to me. Anyway, I wanted to get a video on this out ASAP, but today I need to unwrap the Lamborghini Gallardo. It's cheap wrap and it's been on there for 9 months, 10 months at this point, and the series is done. I mean, it was really to pair up with a Scamborghini, and we just obviously released the final video on this thing. I'm also going to try my hand at lowering the Gallardo. Apparently it comes stock with adjustable coilovers, and so I got the little coilover adjustment tools and everything. Also, some of you guys know the story on this. It's not released yet, and I don't want to release any videos until I finish the Countach project. This is like a video between videos, so I'm just trying to get the Gallardo finished up, and then no more videos on that. And then by the next video, hopefully I have the Countach running and driving as expected. But the problem is this thing is in front of the gate and this thing can't move. So if I get the Countach running, it can't be driving. So anyway, I'm just gonna do what I can, and we'll make it work. Everything's great, man. Fresh. So what we have right here, a big set of brake pads. There are 3 different sets of brake pads on this thing, but I have some coilover adjuster things that might work. I don't even know. And I got some freaking Bonos wheel spacers for this thing. They're not super wide. I think it's 12mm and 15mm spacers. I'll pop one open since I'm gonna put them on right now anyway. This is probably the front. You guys can see they're not super duper thick, but it should just space it out a little bit, and it should make it sit a little bit better, especially if I lower it about an inch or so. It doesn't look bad as it is, but you guys can see there is definitely some panel, wheel gap there. And I definitely will also test fit these wheels up to see if they even work. And they should look freaking good when the car goes back to white. Obviously they'll clash a little bit with the car being bronze and this being gold if I put them on now. Let's get to it. This is the first time I've worked with suspension and brakes on the Gallardo, so this was mostly just trial and error and just taking relevant past experience and applying it here as much as possible. I was actually really surprised how easy it was to service all of these systems. All you have to do to replace the brake pads is take 2 pins out of the top of the calipers and the pads slide in and out without having to remove any bolts or anything. Adjusting the coilovers was insanely quick and easy once I learned how to do it with the first one. Awesome how you can just lower and raise the car ride height on the Gallardo from factory suspension. All right, you guys, I lowered it about an inch. I'm gonna do that to the other side, and then the front I'll probably just do like 0.75 of an inch or maybe half an inch. Don't want to be like scraping on crap, but we'll see. We'll see. I might just go all out, who knows. Fat tires. Like I say this all the time, the Gallardo is a really cool and practical car to work on once you get the hang of it. All right, today is officially the end of an era. I'm gonna be unwrapping this thing. We just finished the last video of the electric supercar from China series, which is why I wrapped this originally the same color scheme as the Lamborghini. But now that that series is done, I think I'll just take it back to white. I have some new Rohana wheels that I'm gonna slap on this thing. And I've been excited for a while to put those on. Gold is the one color they didn't go with, so I guess it's just that time. This was my first ever wrap job, and it came out so well that it's sad to be peeling it off. There are some little spots that were not the greatest, you know, but overall, very well wrapped. A lot of time and several $100s into the wrap itself and everything. And personally, one of my favorite colors, but I feel like it's just time to change it up a little bit. So as much as I hate to see it go, I think I'll just start unwrapping this thing, and we'll just move on to bigger and better things, I guess. When I set the camera up, I thought it was gonna take, you know, roughly an hour or something to unwrap this car. But I started peeling this fender and immediately knew it was going to take nights of work just getting this wrap off. So I cut the camera and I was just working on it behind the scenes for a long time. This wrap removal took us a solid 10 to 12 hours. It was not fun, and it was insanely tedious work. As we were rubbing it with the rubber at first, I had a bunch of hours to consider better alternative methods of removal, and my brain finally cracked the code to remove it faster. All right, well, here's your daily reminder to not leave cheap wrap on your car for too long. Now, this was only on my car for 9 months though, so it should not have by any means done this. How this chrome gold wrap was made, it was just a layer of chrome backed adhesive, and then they had a thin film of like yellow on top that they kind of like stuck onto it. Any spot that had any kind of sun exposure just peeled the top coat of it off, and so it's just a bunch of adhesive that you can't pull off left behind. And so anyway, so there you go. Don't get cheap chrome gold wrap. This is the Vivid chrome gold wrap. Don't get that stuff and put it on your car unless you want a huge nightmare. So we've just been scraping away at it with soft rubber, and it doesn't damage the paint at all. It's not scratching it, but it is like gently peeling off the freaking chrome gold adhesive. But I found a better way last night, actually. The battle of adhesives, I actually got smart. And duct tape, if you put it on the flat surfaces that's not on the like exposed to paint, you can actually rip the adhesive and rip the chrome gold off. I did one line of duct tape on this last night, and it comes off much faster than scraping at it. I can't wait to have this done. This is the ultimate chrome delete I've ever done on a car. No way. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Foo. Now we just got this down here. So the next day, I finally moved on to slapping on the new wheels. This was the first set of wheels I've ever ordered, and really a set I've wanted for my whole life. It's a super cool moment. It may not seem like a super big thing. I know many people have bought, you know, several sets of rims for themselves, but I was really excited to see them on the car and to drive around with them and everything, you know, as my first set. What you're hearing right now is not me adding air to the tire. It's air coming out of the tire. And remember, these are brand new. Stickers still on them and everything. Alright, so Fitment Industries sent me a wheel that was leaking straight from the factory, like bad. Like the bead is not even like seated at all. That's crazy. Alright, so if you guys listen closely, don't even have to listen that closely, obviously leaking, just right here. I can see that it's not seated or the wheel is poorly formed. I don't know what it is, but leaking pretty good. So I'm gonna go take it to Les Schwab, see if they can straighten it out. Anyway, that's a status report. Really dumb. right, well here it is, lowered with different wheels, and it looks a lot better, and unwrapped. Oh my goodness, that was not much fun getting that stuff off. Don't ever buy cheap wrap, anybody, man. That was not much fun to do. But man, the car looks fantastic now. Rohana wheels, they all meet the fender exactly as they should. Man, it looks really nice. I ordered these wheels off of Fitment Industries, and I did get it paired with a mid-grade, cheaper option tire, the Lexani tires. And while it was a good deal, unfortunately, it didn't look like they put any effort into giving me decent quality anything. The rims obviously were fine, but the tire was ripped in 2 different places. So when we pulled the right side tire off at Les Schwab, they took me to the back, they pulled the tire, everything. They showed me the bead was clearly ripped, and you guys could hear it hissing audibly on camera, and there's no way a technician didn't know about that when they were airing up the tires to send it to me. So they just sent me a bum set of tires just because, you know, I was getting a good deal on them. They just didn't seem to care enough to send an actual working set to the customer that bought them. So anyway, that was my experience with Fitment Industries. I'm sure I'll order more rims and tires off them at some point. They seem like good guys over there. It's just, I can't believe they would send a tire like that. So I had to spend another almost $600 getting one freaking tire replaced, and now it's different from all the rest of the 3. Kind of frustrating for sure, but whatever. Anyway, here it is in its final form. I don't even know if I'll do another video on it specifically, but there you guys go. 2008 Lamborghini Gallardo with Rohana wheels, bronze, gloss bronze, wrapped hood, wrapped roof, Superleggera spoiler, lowered on the stock coilover springs that it comes with. Honestly, the Gallardo has been one of the most practical vehicles. It really has been. So my first thought getting such an expensive car was the maintenance and everything is going to be astronomically wild and expensive, but it's actually, for about almost 4,000 miles of city driving at this point, has been really, really good. I did the oil change myself, pretty easy. You guys saw I just serviced the brakes and the suspension and everything, pretty easy. And honestly, it's just been gas, really, so far. I topped up the coolant one time when I got it, but that's pretty much it. So if anybody's watching and hasn't gotten a supercar, but they're on the verge of maybe getting their first one, I'd definitely recommend a Gallardo. It's easy to work on, and it's really cheap to maintain and everything. So, and they just look dang good, and they sound dang good. With the titanium exhaust, this thing is absolutely incredible. And just rolling with the windows down, there's really no experience like it. And just overall, a really nice looking car. It looks like $1 million, but it's one of the cheaper Lamborghinis that you can get. So anyway, there you have it. That is the Lamborghini Gallardo. I know this was kind of a video between videos, but I really appreciate you guys watching. I'm so excited to get working on the actual content on this channel. I'm extremely excited to go full-time content video production on this kind of stuff. I have 2 projects that I am insanely excited to get going on. And so that's really next up. Countach is gonna go one after another as much as possible. The go-kart, we just had complications. The hypercart, we finished it. We took it out to the road for its first test in its fully completed state, and the controller stopped working. So I think maybe Kurt overpowered the thing and just broke it. Who knows? But anyway, it was throwing us an error code, and then yeah, some voodoo happened, and it's not working right now. So we're even gonna get more upgraded controllers. And Kurt's like, we could even push this thing even harder with these controllers. So I was like, yeah, I'm just Lord Kurt's sugar daddy. I'm just here to pay his bills and make the most insane stuff possible. So anyway, I'm so excited to show you guys a lot of that stuff. There's just been a lot going on behind the scenes, and I have 3 projects now to finish, and I'm excited to get going on all of them. It's old school stuff that I love doing. The Countach, it's gasoline engines, baby. And I know how to get those things running. So next up, you guys should see the Countach running and driving if it is fully operational. James, the original owner who contacted me, he did send me a video of it trying to start up, but they had to use starter fluid because the fuel pump was indeed out when he got the car. So I have a fuel pump on the way. Next up, you guys should be seeing an e-bike video. And then next up, you guys should be seeing the Countach running and driving and the roof chopped off of that thing. So anyway, that's all to come. Enough talk, not enough action. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Appreciate all you guys watching. It's a pleasure to finally be back on these projects, man. Those e-bike videos freaking suck. And I'm well aware, but they're paying the bills.